There was some breaking news on this episode. Charles Gasparino was interviewed by Chris G. and Carla, and guess what? He claims that the case of Ripple v. SEC is on the verge of being dropped. We will discuss the quant FUD that is currently circulating. We will investigate Velo's activities. We will also examine the cryptocurrency trends and the altcoin prices. Therefore, without further ado, take a seat, unwind, and let's dive into a Bitcoin. $93,280 Ethereum is presently trading at $3,459, up 1.75% over the last day. Both USDT and USDC are still below $1 at 4.97%. At a mean low of 99 cents, XRP is still within its range of $43. The ideal range for XRP is between $50 and $75, which is where we would really like to see it. However, it has increased by more than 10% in the past day, and the market value of all cryptocurrencies is now $3 trillion, $257 billion. From here, whither are we heading? Look, everyone's eyes are on Bitcoin right now. It's retaining if markets permit. May we see 85 to 88? The price of Bitcoin is obviously being suppressed by the market makers from that $100,000 mark, which is a significant milestone for the cryptocurrency. As they previously said, it's a very, very large psychological level. It will undoubtedly sail straight through those targets as it blows past them. All coins will pick up after 108 to 115 don't come. All of this will take place in the upcoming weeks. Take note of today's second video. We'll be discussing alts and their future directions. Undiscovered treasures we call Solana if you're looking for hidden treasures. The names we used were Cardano, HBAR, and below that, Philosophy. I need your wallet, Salmon. I'll give you a complimentary game pack. After that, you can download the game and open it because all of these cards are NFTs. How can I obtain an avatar of NFT Paco? Now, have a look at this brief video. You will purchase a pack for yourself. You will mint it. To open the pack, you must click on it. You will be treated to a stunning animation from the pack. The actual opening, which has all of the NFTs within. The transaction was supposed to be signed by you. That is going to blow out. It will open as if you were a child, won't it? Finding that extremely secret card at the store and tearing up a pack of baseball cards, there you have it. This bundle has been opened. I was purchasing a game avatar. I'm going to go ahead and claim the pack. My recently obtained avatar is visible there, and the game will now reflect this. Since Giancarlo had some important news to share yesterday, let's take a moment to review his remarks. It appears that Carlo and G may be taking over as the next SEC commissioner. I'd rather have Brian Brooks if it weren't him. Those, in my opinion, are the two leading candidates. He conducted an interview. Do not be concerned. 10 minutes have passed. We won't play the entire thing for you. He came out when discussing Charles Gasparino and said, look, Ripple versus SEC, the case will be dismissed. Maybe Ripple was aware that it would be dismissed as well. As a result, they failed to submit their appeal by the deadline. Maybe they were pushing it out because, like everyone else, they knew what would happen to Gary Gensler after Trump won the presidency. However, he was going to fire Gensler. There is a limit to how long this case can go. It's only about the money. The SEC is requesting extra funding. They want more money, but why? They do this because they are aware that Ripple has a lot more money to give up Ripples. Even if we're already going above and beyond and paying too much, we're only fulfilling your request and your desires. Recall that the SEC consented to this because that's what they wanted. Well, in fact, they consented. The money was returned after they requested more. They were fine with it until the court stated, this is what you're going to get, but then they said, we're going to appeal because we actually want a little bit more. You can never predict what they will do. If Gensler woke up on the right side of the bed rather than the left, I'm telling you that he woke up on the wrong side. He was a grumpy individual. His feet would strike the floor if he sneezed in front of you. He was also a grumpy man. Take a listen to this interview. One of the top candidates for the position of White House crypto czar is Giancarlo, the former chairman of the CFTC during the Trump administration. Giancarlo, the author of the book Crypto Dad, joins us on set with Charlie Gasparino to discuss this new role, which might help usher in a new age of pro-crypto policy in Washington. Take it away, Charlie. From Crypto Dad to Crypto Czar, cryptocurrency evolves. How does that occur? We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I believe that a great deal of thought is being given to Mar-a-Lago as the ideal way to accomplish Trump's cryptocurrency goals. What are the necessary components and individuals to do that? Additionally, an idea for a group of outside consultants to help push regulations and advise different areas of government is being discussed. I don't know the name of the reporter who reported that, but it appears like all of you would sit at the top of it. Perhaps producing a great reporter is a fantastic thing. Yes, and on that one I believe I may have shared a byline. At this stage, it appears ambiguous. Is there something tangible here, after all? Charlie actually refers to a July address that Donald Trump gave in Nashville, as you may know, laying out an entire set of measures to, in his words, turn the U.S. into the global center of cryptocurrency. Isn't that right? That also includes a Bitcoin reserve or a crypto reserve, a crypto council, and the option to self-custody your own cryptocurrency. Initially, there were several setups, but do we have anything? Well, these tasks are challenging. Consider, for instance, the kind of individuals who might serve on that. Some people have created cryptocurrency companies and created cryptocurrency coins, but government workers are required to disclose all of their financial information. Yes, all of their holdings must currently be under the government ethics order or an executive order from the Biden administration. Crypto cannot be held by them. They must divest. Will they be employed by the government through that framework, or is it likely that they won't be there at all? Yes, a great deal of consideration must be given to the structure of this and the promises made by President Trump. How often do you discuss cryptocurrency with Trump? During my first tenure, I had the pleasure of working with President Trump. Trump is very engaged on these issues, although I haven't spoken to him since the election. As you are aware, there is a lot of communication going on around the edges. Oh, I see. What do you suppose drew him to cryptocurrency? I believe Donald Trump once referred to it as a swindle or something similar. Yes. What do you believe made you the way that Barron Trump became so Charlie as a result of his son's sincerity? In my initial experience with the Trump administration, I'll tell you that the identical question was asked at the start and finish of every communication my agency had with the White House. How are you all achieving economic growth of 4%? Donald Trump is driven by the conviction that economic development is the only way to escape the mess we're in, including the mountain of debt we're facing. And I believe that what you're hearing right now is a dedication to cryptocurrency. But I also want to mention other developments. How can we accelerate the United Crypto to reach that 3%? Yes, and I believe someone was here with a Barron. Yes, I believe Barron was involved in that. J.D. Vance, that's what you have. You possess Mishwami. Many of the folks in their immediate vicinity truly understand this. I mean, your name was floating about as a candidate for SEC chair. Because you didn't want to clean up the mess, you claimed that you didn't want it. The numerous messes of Gary Gensler, he is the SEC's current chair. What level of mess did Gary Gensler leave behind? As you are aware, I followed him, so I can attest to this firsthand. Tim Maston succeeded him at the CFTC, but the disaster he had made during his tenure was completely disorganized. Some of the talent that the agency depends on for its everyday operations had left. There was after he left, the agency unionized because they felt mistreated, and due to the lack of consensus, they had reached an impasse panel. Being able to reach the first collective bargaining agreement in the agency's history during my 2.5 years as chairman is something I'm really pleased about. Tidying up that mess. What are your thoughts? Perhaps worse than what I found at the CFTC, the incoming chairman of the SEC will have to clean it up. There is no longer any talent. Dead ends and those who don't want to come into the office are what's left. I am aware of the SEC's requirement that they report to work 1 day every pay period. As soon as every 2 employees call it in, isn't that right? How can all the necessary policy efforts be completed? When employees only show up for work 1 day a week yet have union concerns, they have problems with their workers. They are struggling with talent. The SEC has been overreached. I believe that it was punished by a federal court for lying to the court for the first time in its existence, and most definitely the first time in the last few decades. People were quitting the SEC because of him after he was sanctioned by the federal court for lying to the court. It will be a difficult job because everything he did was utterly repulsive. Don't finish it. In my opinion, Giancarlo will be Brian Brooks' ideal partner. I firmly believe Giancarlo will prevail. He continues by discussing the river versus the fact that he lost and stating that it will be disregarded. It will disappear. Look, because you were receiving a settlement or payment fee, why continue to fight a battle that you already believed you had won? Years ago, Giancarlo came out. Remember that XRP made it clear that it was not a security when it was said that it was not. Ripple will continue to function as they have. For the bull run, now is the ideal moment. In the second film, we'll gather and dive into all those antique coins. Don't you think there's more to come?